From a distance, Mike watched as a strange man aimed a pneumatic gun at an unsuspecting office worker. The barrel was plastic and filled with shards of glass instead of bullets. With remarkable precision, the man shot the glass shards into the tires of an oncoming car, causing it to lose control and crash into the office worker. The man smirked and then quickly disappeared. Today, we will learn about Mike, a professional hitman working for an assassin organization led by Big Ray, a retired veteran assassin. Mike is the best assassin in the guild, and his preferred method of assassination is quite unique. He is a big bearded man with a hot temper, and his frenzied approach to assassination is no longer popular with customers. The next assassin is a dirty-looking man who specializes in poisons. He uses poison to soak his teeth in toothpaste or just touches a cigarette with poisoned hands. Mike is fascinated by this assassin's methods and is eager to learn more. Max and Mick are former Special Forces operatives who specialize in disguising assassinations as ordinary street accidents, making it impossible for the police to investigate. Jane is a female assassin with remarkable katana skills, while Fred is an old man with a sophisticated assassination method. He once assassinated an entire team with a gas. Enter Milton, an important link in the assassin organization. He is responsible for taking requests from customers and assigning jobs to assassins based on their requirements. He also manages the money, as Mike is the best assassin and receives a lot of assassination missions. One such mission was to kill a drunk office man. Mike had sneaked into the house and the drunk man saw the watch and tried to climb on the chair and take it down. Mike predicted his every move until the drunk man stood up on the chair, at which point Mike used a rope to choke him from behind. When the drunk man asked, "Do you know who I am?" Mike simply replied coldly and kicked the chair away. "Yes, I know who you are. You are worth $25,000. Mike only cares about money, regardless of whether the person is good or bad. As long as there is money involved, Mike will take the mission. After the assassination was over, Mike took a photo as evidence and then returned. His next assignment was to kill an entire rock band. He infiltrated the venue and blended in with the audience, simply listening to the band perform. During their last show, Mike noticed that the band's power supply line was exposed, so he flipped a glass of water onto the power supply, electrocuting the band. The audience was bewildered and didn't know what was happening. After each such assassination, Mike would find a way to relieve stress. He would go to a pub, give money to the 2 security guards to go elsewhere, and then see a bunch of uncivilized thugs bothering a lady. Mike's blood boiled and he didn't hesitate to come and hit them one by one. The thugs, with their poor fighting skills compared to Mike's, rushed toward him. Mike then used his badass fighting skills to beat the crap out of the thugs, displaying his professional ability to fight and assassinate. As a young man, Mike had experienced the trauma of being bullied. One day, a group of teenagers were chasing him, demanding he pay them with the little money he had made selling newspapers. Then, one day, Mike caught a middle-aged man breaking into a house carrying a gas cylinder. He was certainly not a gas employee. Seconds after the man entered the house, it exploded. The man emerged unscathed, and Mike followed him for weeks, eventually discovering he was an assassin who received money for his services. Mike found the man, Big Ray, and forced him to teach him his skills. He said he was bullied too much and wanted to kill the leader, but didn't want to go to jail. Seeing Mike's determination and stealth skills, Big Ray knew it was only a matter of time before Mike became a professional assassin. He suggested Mike could kill the other guy by accident. Mike then snuck into the house when the guy wasn't there, stuck a piece of money on the antenna, and hid in the blankets. Little did he know that this would be the start of his career as a professional assassin. Without a doubt, Mike returned and climbed up the railing to reach for the bill. When Mike jumped out of the blankets and pushed him down, causing him to fall, he was overjoyed. However, his assassination skills were still too amateur level. Big Ray below had captured the shot of him pushing the guy, and Mike knew he had to practice more if he wanted to become as badass as Big Ray. Big Ray then taught him all his skills, from gun blazing to staging an assassination that looks like an accident to defense skills. Everything was taught by Big Ray as if he was Mike's father for such a long time. Eventually, Mike became a top-class assassin in the organization. when Milton assigned him to assassinate a young accountant named Ruth, who was paid twice as much by the client to kill him as quickly as possible. Mike accepted the mission without hesitation. He used a pneumatic shotgun and the barrel was filled with shards of glass. Mike watched Ruth closely, then waited for a car to go at the right angle. When the car arrived at the right time, he immediately opened fire, shooting glass fragments into the tire of the car, causing the tire to deflect and the car to turn and hit Ruth, killing him in what looked like an accident. Mike just smirked and walked away while his brother drove in fear, thinking he had just killed someone. That night, Milton called Mike and told him to go to the street that the client promised to get his pay as a reward for killing Ruth. Mike arrived too late to prevent the ambush, but he was determined to take down the armature assassin. He used all kinds of martial arts to defeat the assassin, but Mike was too powerful. He taunted the assassin, saying, "You can shoot down from a tall building or use dynamite to blow up the area. But no, you rush in and shoot like a thug." What a disgrace to the assassin industry. With that, Mike pulled him up and hit his throat to suffocate, then used force to break his neck. Mike dragged the body to the curb and positioned it to look like an accident. He put the assassin's head on the sidewalk and pulled his motorcycle up next to the body, making it look like the killer had taken the corner too quickly and lost control, hitting his head on the sidewalk step and breaking his neck. After making sure everything looked natural, Mike returned home. He soon received a call from a woman named Charlie, who informed him that his ex-girlfriend, Beth, had been killed. Beth was an environmental activist who had caused countless factories to close due to their harmful effects on the environment. Mike rushed to Beth's funeral and met Charlie there. She told him that Beth had been mugged by two thieves who were about to steal her things. When Beth was discovered and returned, the two thieves made a terrible mistake and killed her. The police found the fingerprints of the two thieves and investigated, but a few days later both of them died of a drug overdose. Not only that, Charlie also revealed that Beth was pregnant and the baby was Mike's child. A tragedy. Mike decided to go to the apartment where Beth used to stay to investigate what happened. With his expertise, he could easily imagine the crime scene and see that it was actually an assassination. In the police investigation file Mike had acquired, it was found that Beth had a certain amount of sleeping pills in her system. It said that she was treated for a fear of flying, but Beth had never experienced this fear. Mike concluded that she had been drugged and assassinated. The crime scene was then staged as a failed burglary, blaming two drug addicts by copying their fingerprints at the scene. As it turned out, the murderer, Mick and Mac, were enraged when they saw Mike coming. They admitted that they had been given the job and had just felt like doing it. Despite Beth and Mike having already cut ties, the problem remains that Beth is still pregnant and Mick and Mac are unaware. The two of them brushed off my concerns, telling me to go home and that it was just business angering them. Mike acted first, launching a fierce attack with his assassin skills and the power of plot armor, which made it almost impossible to fight. He elbowed and threw Mac back, punched Mick in the stomach and face, and then delivered a 360 mid-air kick to Mick's face. Mike then went to Charlie, informing her that Beth had been assassinated and asking for information about Beth. Charlie revealed that Beth had a hard drive containing important information, and that the backup was at her parents' house. Just then, the bearded assassin of the guild arrived, sent to kill Charlie. The bearded man was hot-tempered, and when he entered his fury mode, he began to chop mindlessly. Charlie took advantage of the moment when the bearded man wasn't paying attention and stabbed him in the shoulder with a knife. However, the man used his raw strength to counterattack and was about to stab Mike with the knife when he fell on an axe, resulting in fatal injuries. Before he died, the bearded man revealed that Milton had sent him to kill Charlie. Mike heard this and told Charlie to go to Beth's parents' house to get the documents and then call him. Meanwhile, Mike went to Milton's place to force him to tell who was behind the request of Charlie and Beth's assassination. He said it was an accountant named Kent. After learning this information, Mike arranged to meet Charlie again. When Charlie had obtained Beth's documents, he told Mike that Beth, being an environmentalist, had gone after an Indian oil company called Van Cap. The company was originally not going to be allowed to drill for oil, but the director had bribed the government to give him the right to drill in the sea. Beth was informed by an accountant in that Van Cap company, the accountant named Ruth. It was this accountant that Mike got rid of, and he had a colleague named Kent. Kent had heard the news that someone was bringing a bribe to Beth, the company director. and he was determined to find the killer and eliminate them. He contacted Milton to find a suitable assassin and recorded the entire conversation. Just then, Mick and Mac, two of Big Ray's henchmen, burst in and ordered the team of assassins to take out Mike. Mick and Mac opened fire, but Mike quickly transformed into Ronaldo and kicked the grenade back. The explosion stunned the two, giving Mike the opportunity to take control of Mac's gun. However, Mick accidentally shot Mac while Mike used his body as a shield. Mike then sprayed Mac with a fire extinguisher and knocked him out. The poison assassin had been lying in wait and ambushed Mike. He attempted to cover Mike's nose with a poison towel, but Mike was prepared and held his breath. The killer tried to stab Mike with a knife, but Mike stabbed him with his own knife and pushed him down the stairs. Finally, Mike met Fred and easily picked off the assassin with the tools in his pocket. Mike punched him, knocking him out cold. Casually, he plucked a poison bandage from Fred's pocket and left. He then headed to the director of the Van Cap Company, where he encountered a female assassin who specialized in katana. Big Ray had sent her to protect the old director. At first, it was a difficult battle, as the female assassin was incredibly agile and her skill was on par with Mike's. However, her weaker strength meant that Mike was able to knock her over with a single shove through the door. The director held a katana and threw it to the female assassin with her strong sword. The assassin slashed madly, but Mike managed to dodge each attack with ease. He tried to use a lamp to defend himself, but it was of no use. He then grabbed a suitcase, only to have it sliced in two. In a moment of carelessness, the female assassin left herself open and Mike seized the opportunity to steal the sword and stab her with it. He then went to the director and tried to bribe him with money, but Mike refused. In a fit of rage, Mike then decapitated the Indian guy and returned to Big Ray. He played the recording in the video, and Big Ray was filled with rage. They learned that Ken had followed the director's orders, hiring Milton to eliminate 3 people: his accountant brother, Root, Mike's ex-lover, Beth, and finally, Charlie. In the terms he gave, he wanted a single assassin to eliminate the other 3, and then he would pay 3 times the money. As a result, the money-hungry Milton assigned Mike to kill his brother Root first, but knowing Mike would not kill Beth, he sent a young assassin to kill Mike and then assigned the job of killing Beth and Charlie to the others. Wow! What a cunning move! Hire a bunch of lesser experienced assassins to kill a professional one and then murder his wife. How did Milton think this would end? After everything was revealed, Milton was beaten and bruised by Big Ray served him right. Mike then passed him the poison bandage, but Milton didn't know it. A few minutes later he was dead. Everything was clear. Even though Big Ray knew the truth, he was also very angry because Mike had made the assassin organization destroyed by the assassin he had raised. In the end, he let Mike go but cut all ties with him.